that you can fully customize your user's experience from the registration to the login page using JetFormBuilder. In this video, we'll focus on building the user profile edit form, which you kick in right after the user has finished registering and successfully logged into the page. Rather than bombarding your potential users with loads of questions during registration, what you want to do is ask them as little questions as possible during the registration process to get them through the door. Then, once they've finally registered and successfully logged in, you can now redirect them to their account page where they can update their profile at their own time. This will definitely create a good user experience. So, I'll walk you through creating this user profile edit form using JetFormBuilder. Then, you can now display it using any page builder of your choice. In this video, we'll be using Bricks Builder and the block editor, but you can use any page builder of your choice. If you'd like to see a complete tutorial on how to customize the user experience from the login page to the user edit profile page, then pop a comment and we'll get to it. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you can get more videos like this. So now, without further ado, let's jump right in. For this tutorial, the two main plugins you need are JetEngine to create the extra user meta fields and JetFormBuilder to create the form. You also need a page builder or a block editor of your choice. In this case, I'm using Bricks Builder. Next, you want to think about what extra fields you would like to collect from your users. In this day and age, with the presence of GDPR, make sure you're only collecting the information that you need and not any extra redundant information. So, for this example, I've determined that I want to get the display picture because I don't want to rely on Gravatar. I want the pronouns, then a contact email, which will be different from the login email, or it could be the same. Then a phone number, the languages that the user speaks, and the nationality. Depending on what you want to use it for, make sure you're just getting the right information from the user. Now, to get all of this information, we'll be using JetEngine. So head over to JetEngine and then we'll create meta boxes. The meta box I'm creating is called User Extra. You can call it whatever you want. So you want to go to Add New. I already created it, so I'll just go ahead and edit it. Then what you do is give it a title, a memorable name that will help you to understand what the function of that meta box is going to be. Then you want to decide that it is for the user. Then you choose the visibility to be edit user and profile. Then next you go ahead and create all of your meta fields. The ones I created are mostly the media field. I prefer to use media ID because that is the easiest one to work with. So the value format for the image is media ID. I've set up the label and the name gets automatically populated. For the other ones, they are mostly just text. And then there is a select field. For the nationality, I used with the help of Claude AI to generate a CSV of different nationalities. And I created a glossary page, which you can see here under JetEngine, then glossaries, and I created a glossary page, and I simply added the file as a CSV. Then I chose the value column, which is the nationality column in the CSV, and it automatically populated it for me. So after that was done, you can come back. Let me show you under meta boxes, then user extra, and you'd see for the nationality, I chose the select field and I chose the source as the glossary. Then I picked the exact glossary that I created, and that was it. Then I saved the meta box. Next, you want to go ahead and add in all of your users and then populate them with the right information. which will be done during the registration. The next step is to create the form which we now use to update this user profile on the front end. So we'll go under JetFormBuilder. Then you go ahead and create a new form. So let me just create a new one again. Then I'll call it Profile Form 2. You'd want to give it a meaningful name that represents the function. We'll go ahead and start from scratch. Then I'll go to the list view. Then I'll click on all of them. So I'll press Shift and then click on the last item. So that now selects all of the items on the page. Then I can go to the 3 dots and select Delete. So now I've deleted all the items. What you can do to speed up the process is to click on the plus icon, then come to Patterns, and you simply look for the JetFormBuilder pattern, which is under JetForm. Then if you hover over them, you see their names. So the first one is the Contact Us form, and we have the others. The one we need is this one. So you click it, and you immediately get some populated fields, which you can go ahead and then modify to your own liking. But for this example, we'll go ahead and build everything from scratch. So let me come back to the list view. Then I'll select everything. So Shift, click, then delete. So we'll start from scratch. We need to know all of the fields that we need. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you the fields that we need right now again. These are the fields we need to create, starting with the user ID, which will be a hidden field, and going down with some text fields, text area field, media field, and some fields for our password and confirm password. So first, I'll go ahead and add in all of the fields. Then we'll go ahead and make some adjustments and we'll go on from there. So to add the fields, I'll quickly click on the plus icon. Then I'll search for hidden. Click to insert. Then I want to insert a couple of text fields. So about 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is a text area field. Just 1. Continue with the media field now. So media, we want to add 1 of that. Then about 4 text fields again. So text, 1, 2, 3, 4. A select field, just 1 of that. And 2 text fields. So text, 1 for the password and the other one for the confirm password. So now that we've added the fields, we can start making some adjustments. So I'll close the list view and I'll open settings. So all of them, because they're all having the same field name now, but don't worry, when we start adding the field label, it automatically populates the form field name. So I'll start with the first one, which is the hidden field. Let me make sure I didn't add an extra field. Yes, there's one for paragraph. Let me go ahead and delete that. Then I can close the list view. I'm starting with the hidden field. For that field, we want to give it the name user ID. The field label will be user ID. Just click on enter. It doesn't populate, so I have to type it myself. So user underscore ID. Okay. We don't want it to render in the HTML because we just want to use it when we are submitting the form. So I'll go ahead and remove this render in HTML. Then choose the field value to be the current user ID, which is this one. Okay. I believe that is all. There's nothing else to add. Then we'll go to the next one, and that should be the first name. So, first name. It has been added. Okay. And We don't need to do much here. So we'll go to the next one, which is the last name. So last name has been added. Next, we want to add the nickname. So nickname, that has been added as well. Followed by the login email. So login email. For this one, it is an email field, not a normal text field. So we have to come down to the bottom. You see field type, change it from text to the email field. Okay. Then we change the next one to be description. So click on the text area field and I'll change the label to be description. Okay. We're getting there. Next is the display picture. So click on the media file, then say display picture. Okay, for this one, it is a media file. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments. First, we only want registered users to be able to access this media file. So I'll click on the drop down and select any registered user and choose OK. Then, yes, you can insert attachment. Then the field value, because I set it to be media ID when I was creating the meta field, so I'll set it to attachment ID here as well. And let's look at the next one, which says how many files do you want to allow to upload. The default is 1, which is a standard. We only want the users to be able to upload 1 profile picture. I'll set the maximum value to be 2. Then finally, the allowed file types. We don't want to just allow any kind of file. Before the person starts putting in PDFs or Word documents, you want it to be only images. The popular ones are JPEG. Then we want PNG and a WebP. I think those are enough for the user to input. We'll go to the next field, and that is for the user pronouns. For this one, we want to give the user the choice to write whatever pronouns that they want. So that's why we're using a text field. That is pronouns. Okay. Next is the contact email. This could either be the same as the login email, or maybe the user wants to display a different email for the public to see. So that will now be the contact email. So let me just go ahead and copy it. Paste it. We get that. And because it's an email field, we'll change the field type to be email. Next is the phone number. So come back to the next one and I'll set it to be phone. So phone. Make sure the field name has been populated correctly. Then, because it's not a regular text, we change the field type to be tel, which stands for telephone. Then we can start setting the input mask. We might do that later. That will just show you that, okay, do we want it to be in like a format of +44 and then some strings, maybe some in bracket and things like that. So you set it the exact way you want. We'll come to the next one, which is for the languages. So say languages. I decided not to use a select field because there are so many languages in the world. It's better for the user to write it in plain text. What are the languages they speak in the order that they speak it? So that is why I put it this way. Then we come to the next one, and that will be the nationality. So say nationality. Then what we want to do is decide where we are imputing the value from. In this case, I created a glossary, so we just use that glossary. So I'll select, rather than manual input, I'll say glossary. Then I'll choose the actual glossary we're looking for. The name is called nationality. Okay. We really want them to pick one nationality at a time. so we don't need to put is multiple. So the last two are for the password. So come here and say password. Then we come to the bottom and we change it from a text to a password field type. We do that for the next one as well, which is for the confirm password. That will be called confirm password. Same thing, field type, set it to password. So now we've imputed all of the fields. We can go ahead and close the notepad and then make this one full screen. So let me go ahead and save it. So we have everything saved now. We can start making some extra adjustments. But before we do that, let's even see if the fields are being populated in properly. So we use a preset. So I'll come to JetForm, then I'll come down to the bottom and choose preset settings, enable. And then I'll choose the source to be the user. Then they get the user ID from the current user. So now we start mapping in all of the fields. So from the form fields we've created to the actual users fields. So the user ID, we'll map it to user ID. First name, map it to first name. Last name to last name. Then the nickname, we'll map it to the nickname, but it's not showing up here. So we have to come under user meta. Then we choose the nickname. That is the field key for the nickname. Next, we come to this login email and then we choose email. The description, it's not there. So we have to come under user meta and then we choose description. Let me go ahead and show you where this description comes from. So come under the page. I'll come to my user and then profile. If you come down to the bottom, this biographical info is the description. So let's come back. And the display picture, all of these will now be user meta. And we just give them the name display underscore picture. Well, let me just go ahead and make sure that it's the right one. So I'll come here to the user meta that we created. See the key here is display underscore picture. So let me copy it, come back, paste it there. The pronouns, let's go back, copy that key, user meta, paste, contact email, same thing. So come here, that should be contact email, user meta, paste it. And that's how we keep going. So phone, come back, copy that, put that in the meta and phone. Languages, copy, user meta, and then languages. And finally, nationality, come down, nationality, I'll copy it. Then choose user meta and paste it there. The last things are the password and confirm password. So for password, we'll choose password, confirm password, the same thing, password, so that it gets populated correctly. We've already set the field type to be password, so it will hide the password so users cannot just go ahead and see it on the front end. So all of this is set. Now make sure it's restrict access. Yes. We only want registered users to be able to see this form to do anything with the form. Okay, that's it. So update. Now that we've created the form, let's go ahead and see if the form is actually working. So I'll come to any page. Let me come back here. Then I'll come to pages. And just for a test, I'll use the sample page. So sample page, edit it. And I'll drop the form at the bottom. So slash to open up the inserter, and I'll say jet form, enter. We get our form. If I now go to the side, you see choose form. Let me click on the drop down and I'll pick the form we just created, which is the profile form 2. And it should populate the information correctly. So let me save it. And then preview on the front end and see if all the information was taken correctly. So let's see. The first name came in correctly. There is no last name. Let's confirm if there's no last name there. So we have first name and no last name. So let's now go ahead and put in a last name. So then I do. Okay, update it. Then I'll come back to the sample page, refresh, and the last name got populated correctly. So that means it's working. The nickname, correct. Login email is correct. Then the description. Let's see, is there any description there? None. So let me say this is just a test. I'll go ahead and update the profile. Then let's go ahead and refresh. Yep, this is just a test. It's coming in correctly. The profile picture is correct. And all the information are getting in there correctly. Now that we've verified that all of the fields are populating in properly, we'll now go ahead and make some more adjustments to the form. So let me go back to the form. Then we need to add an action button so that we can actually submit the form. So let me come to the end, click on the plus icon, choose action. So we have the button. You can say update profile as the text, because that's what we're doing. To block, come to the label and say update profile. Okay, save it. So what we want to do now is two things. First, we'll connect the actual fields to the submission. So we'll go to JetForm, then we'll click new action. And what we want to do is to update the user profile. So we'll say update user. Then we start mapping the fields again to each other. So user ID, we'll map it to the user ID. First name, map it to the first name. Last name to the last name. Nickname to the user's nickname. Login email to the user's email. Description to the description. Display picture, we map that to the user meta. So we go under user meta, then we choose display underscore picture. Well, let's go and confirm. So come back to the user again and start. Copy this display picture, paste it there. Okay. Pronouns, it'd be the user meta again. Come back to the form, click on the key, and we'll paste that in there. The contact email, same thing. We come to the user meta and we choose the contact email. The phone, we'll go ahead and choose user meta again and come back to the form. Copy the key, user meta. So we're almost there. Languages, user meta. Come back, copy, and we'll paste it. Nationality is a user meta field. Come back to the profile, copy the nationality, and we paste it there. Finally is the password and confirm password. So for the password, we say password, confirm password, say confirm password. So we've mapped all of these fields appropriately. So let's update it, save, and we'll go ahead and test if the field is actually saving properly. So I'll come back to my sample page, refresh it. We get everything in there. So now let's change one of the values. So let's say my language is not English, but Hausa. And I'll click update profile. And it was submitted successfully. And now you see the languages has changed to Hausa. Let's go back to the backend and see if it actually changed. So I'll refresh on the backend. And we'll go ahead and see the languages has changed to Hausa. So it is working. The next thing we need to do is sanitize some of the inputs because this form is being saved into the database. We don't want the user to start adding in some wrong code into the database. So that's why we use some sanitization. If you want to learn more about sanitization, we'll link to one of our other videos where we talked about sanitization in the description. So you can go ahead and check that out. But for now, we'll just go ahead and apply those sanitization to some of our form inputs. Let's jump back in. The first field we look at here is the first name. So click on first name. When you click on the form input, you'd see this brush icon. When you hover over it, you see it says sanitize value. So now we'll go ahead and sanitize the value, and we want to sanitize it as text. So click that so that people cannot start adding in some extra things that are not right for the first name. Then we'll do the same thing for the last name. Click on that brush and we'll say sanitize text. The nickname will do the same thing. So sanitize text. Next, for the login email, we'll do the same thing. And this time we'll say sanitize email. The description is a text area field. So we'll do sanitize text area. For the other one, we don't really need to do any sanitization here. It's already done within the conditions. Next is the pronouns. So we'll do the same thing. Sanitize text. Then we have our contact email. That is an email. So sanitize email. And that's how you just keep going. Phone number. We'll do sanitize text in this case. So it allows for text and numbers, but it doesn't start allowing for things like scripts in the phone number. Then we'll go to the next one, languages. We sanitize text again, just to add some extra security. The nationality, that's a select field, but we'll still do sanitize text. And I think that should be it. Now we can just save it. And we are done with the sanitization. So we are making sure that only the right kind of values are added into the form, which we can test now. Let me go back to the sample page, refresh the page. And let's say for the first name, let's say I try to put a script here. So I'll say script or put BR, any kind of tag. Watch what happens when I press update profile. See, all of those extra kind of characters are being stripped away. Only the actual characters are there. So David, Denedo, and the rest of it. And yeah, that's it. We've finished with the actual form. The next thing we need to do is now place this form into the right page. So I'll show you how to place it into Bricks Builder and how to style it in Bricks Builder. So let's jump back in. So we are now back on the forms area. The title of the form is Profile Form 2. So now I'll go to the pages and to the page I created to place that form, which is the account page. So let's go ahead and edit that page. So here is the page. I already have the form in there. Let me go ahead and delete it. So all you have to do is come to the Add Elements area, then search for JetForm. Click on it to insert. Then I'll click on the actual element. Then go back to the settings area and you see form settings. Then you go ahead and choose your form. This example, it is profile form 2. Then under the style tab, you now want to go ahead and add all of your styles that you want for your label, for description, input fields, and so on. I already have a style added, so I just add the class name back. So the class name was DJ, just form, so that was a form, save it, and we can now preview it on the front end. And there we get our form. All of our form fields are added in correctly. We can go ahead and change any of these values. So let's say I don't want to be Nigerian anymore. I say I'm from the United Kingdom, or I'm British. Okay. Then what else do I want to change? Let's say I don't want to add in any contact email, and I go ahead and I update my profile. This now shows that one of them is missing. So everything is added successfully. You can see now my nationality is British. So if I go to the profile and I update it, you can see I am now shown as British. My language is Hausa. My contact email has been removed, and that is all there is to it. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please do leave a like, share the video, write in the comments what you would like us to talk about in our next videos, and we can prepare for it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.